I must remember also that I have some letters here, because every time I'm lagging behind, you know. And so before they mount up too much. So these letters are coming from the online participants, no? Thank you. Blessed Father, each morning I listen to the silent sitting. Everything you say goes straight to my heart. Empty awareness. No mind, no person. Yet, in the day, the conditioned behaviors, judgments, temptations to indulge arise. All I really want is to let go of this I that is wanting to let go. This I that cannot be found. There is just this desire to merge with the infinite, the unchanging, to be just one. What more can be done, Father, from this side, to let grace have its way with me? No? What more can be done, Father, from this side, to let grace have its way with this me? All blessings on your pointings, on Monte Sahaja, and on the whole Sangha, the world Sangha. G from Oregon. Beautiful. So again, listening to this, to the silent sittings, everything you say goes straight to my heart. Empty awareness, no mind, no person. No? Then yet in the day, like during the day, the conditioned behaviors, judgment, temptations to indulge arise. That play seems to come up and it's going on. What will be different though is that less belief, less identification, less indulgence will go to that state, because having tasted the most excellent, it stays so powerfully within you that it is as though you are now have to taste lesser tastes, and something is in that feeling. Yeah, no, that's this. No, none of this brings me to this. I am here. No. So these judgments, behaviors, temptations to indulge are playing. All I really want is to let go of this I that is wanting to let go. So I want to let go of the I that wants to let go. But if it is observed, this I that wants to let go is observed as a desire that is being clothed in identity, so as it's wearing an I, like an I that wants to get rid of something. You simply need to just look at that and see from where all of this is seen, from what is perceiving even this. Is that active? Does it want anything? And stay with that, be confirmed in this place. Does it want to get rid of anything? Is it disturbed by anything? Then you see nothing can disturb it. If nothing can disturb it, then there's no need to fight with anything in the world. You see, if you can confirm, you are one with that. Not by, I am going to no, but just seeing, you see. Am I not here also in this place of seeing? That these ideas are coming, I want to get rid of this, and I want to get rid of the one who wants to get rid of, and you're still, if you're not careful, you still remain as the one who wants to get rid of the one who wants to get rid of something. Do you follow this or not? Yes. So this seeing itself, is not taking any ownership, it's just a seeing. Stay in this place. So all I really want is to let go of this I that is wanting to let go, that I that cannot be found. When search for the one who wants to let go of something cannot be found. And who is making this discovery? By the time the one who has been holding a strong identity that wants to get rid of something is seen itself, it cannot be found. That which is making this discovery, you see, something feels totally, is that another identity, a more subtle identity? Then that must also be looked into, you see. But as you're seeing these things, there's nothing scraping and scratching behind. You come to a space where there's no person doing or not doing anything at all. We'll get used to it, don't worry. There is just this desire to merge with the infinite unchanging, you see. So even this desire also arises in front of that which does not need to change anything at all. Can we see this though? That even there is just this desire to merge with the infinite unchanging, to be just one. But is this desire coming from the isness itself? Does the isness have a desire to merge with the infinite unchanging? You see? So gradually, this is subtle things, because the mind can come and says, good, I got it, I understand. But it's just superficial. You have to stay with this. You have to be loyal to your seeing. You have to keep on looking, refining, until no doubt is left in you. Neither doubt nor belief even. You transcend even belief itself. Even conviction, something is transcended. Have I gone too fast, too far? So what more can be done, Father, from this side? Is it to let grace have its way with this me? Okay, because something seems to shift back into the picture and becomes the one who is doing and practicing and so on. Don't be too upset about that. Increasingly you can see that, yes, I am here also in this play of moving and things like this, but this me is still moving inside a dimension or in a realm in which that itself is not moving. We hear this or not? What more can be done from this side? Is it to let grace have its way with me? Grace have its way with me. Which me? You know, if you, as soon as you, this is the thing that I've been so long trying to convey, and it's so subtle, many miss it, you see. When I say, watch the sense of I. What clothing is he wearing today? What is it dressed as today? Because you're speaking, but you're not in touch with who you are that's speaking, you see. Where you're speaking from personhood, from the place of presence, or from the ultimate place. If you watch that, all the others you don't have to worry about. You just keep watching, you see. And each time, okay, where are you speaking from now? And, oh yeah, it's from my person again, you see. Can you catch your own self, or do you need someone to keep catching you out? When you can catch your own self, when you can smell your own breath, then maybe you're beyond the need for help. For in the meantime, something has to be pointed out. See, again, look, who are you speaking now? Is it from the place of isness? No. So then of what value, how reliable is what you're speaking? Doesn't it belong to the field of phenomenality? Isn't it transient, your words? Why you're cheating? Because if your words are not reliable, means that next time you speak, you're saying something maybe totally contrary to what you speak. You see? And yet the self is not repetitive speaking always mechanically the same thing. Without any preparation, everything comes in its appropriate way. I told you, this retreat is for those who can jump over the person with a bit of help. Is it for you? Yes. Okay. I have to read another one. Namaste Bhagwan. At times I see that I am in you. And then at times I see that you are in me. At times I feel I am you and you are me. At times I feel neither I am me nor you are you. We never ever met. Your grace is all I need. Your beloved child, I am. Who is writing this type of letter? I don't know. Huh? It's something, no? Listen. At times I see that I am in you. Then at times I see that you are in me. At times I feel I am you and you are me. At times I feel neither I am me nor you are you. We never ever met. Your grace is all I need. Your beloved child, I am. You will come to see also this, I am not, yet I am. Luckily, you don't have to write a thesis about it. It is just something that you will find. This kind of seeming nonsense will be coming out of you, but yet so profound it's something opening a curtain, and you're expecting to see what's behind the curtain, and you find a mirror. You are behind the mirror, you are behind the curtain, you are in front of curtain. But as what? Okay. Dear Guruji, I have been very much looking forward to the retreat, but when I saw you coming into the room, I started having all sorts of unpleasant body sensations, aching, and then started falling asleep so that I could hardly stay awake, even though I wasn't even tired. It followed by the wave of extremely negative thoughts and emotions, you see? Yes. That's the effect I have on people. It's not very comfortable on some people. No? What is this? Trigger, you see? And don't run away because of that. Let the one who cannot stand to be here, let him run away. Is it the same as you? You're going to find out. Some things, this reaction is happening, you see. On one way you say, I'm really here, I'm really prepared for this, but in the instant, all these feelings are coming. Then you just keep quiet, let it come, you watch. Maybe for the first satsang, you're not hearing a single word inside your head. Mind can play like this. You may have to watch the recording. You see? And you see that, my gosh, what is doing this? What is behaving like this? It cannot be what you truly are. It's this cocktail of false ideas combined, with the dynamic self is producing all that. And it is important to see it and to feel even struck by it. You might find that you are there and you feel very tired. This thing is like some force is holding you. You'll get to see what it is. It's not greater than you. Yeah? But it's bigger than your person can handle. But not your being. You see? So this is what happens now. And then now you continue. It happens very often when I watch your videos and I remember you explaining that it is the mind's way to protest or keep me busy from listening, and that the mind can only do it to the person which one identifies with. I said, this is true. This mind behavior, it can only intimidate the idea you have of yourself. It cannot intimidate the self. Have you seen it though? That this will keep coming, and to that extent it is useful. It means that for as long as you keep indulging in personhood, the mind is going to bite you. You see? He's going to come and tell you, no, look, you're not good. And you see, now it's attacking your spirituality, so to speak. You see? And then he wants to tell you, you're feeling like this because this thing is not for you. We want to see how smart you are. You see? If you're simply gullible to the voice of this serpent voice, or whether you can see through it. It's like, whoa, wait a second, you know. If I want to go out and party and stuff, he's going to help me, he comes. But if I want to sit and go to the temple, go to mosque, go to the church, whatever, already, especially if it's one that can really challenge him, he will go to any church, any mosque that doesn't challenge him. He will even take pictures of it. So what a beautiful mosque. But if it's going to challenge, because this psychological sense of entity, it, as I said, it cannot challenge. It cannot challenge what truly is. You see, it can only speak to the one who has doubts about itself. It's easier to observe the thoughts and emotions and to not identify with them than to deal with unpleasant body sensations and falling asleep all the time. But as soon as you revert to what I'm pointing, that you are able, to observe these movements, whatever it is, strong feeling of tiredness, something. There's something that is not tired. A place from where tiredness can be observed, but it itself is not tired. It cannot be drugged, it cannot be possessed. You see. It cannot be cursed. It's beyond all this. It's beyond the field of the world. So it's easier to observe the thoughts and emotions and to not identify with them than to deal with unpleasant body sensations and falling asleep all the time. It is as though it feels like the mind doesn't want you to look at the real place to discover your freedom. And you think, oh, what a terrible mind. No, he has a job to do. Because when the urge within you is so strong, nothing can distract you. When the love for the beloved is so strong, nothing can turn you away. So it is easier to observe the thoughts and emotions and to not identify with them than to deal with unpleasant body sensations and falling asleep all the time. It's like this satsang is a sleeping pill for me. The satsang is a sleeping pill for your mind and the sense of your person. You see, in that early play, you are waking up to the fact that you can transcend, you can escape this limitation of personhood. But something you have to escape from the grip of that influence. And it is as though something is holding on. But it can only hold on to that belief in you that you are a person. So it's like the satsang is a sleeping pill for me. In brackets it put, I know it is a beginner question, but how do I deal with aching in the body and falling asleep? It feels like it's really standing in the way. It's not standing in the way. The mind would like you to think it's standing in the way. You see? And if you accept it standing in the way, then you're going to try and find something to push it out of the way. But the self is not a way. It simply is. What is infinite cannot be a way. A way much means that a way is independent of the infinite. A way to the infinite. How do I deal with aching in the body and falling asleep? Now, this is letter come, thank you Guruji, love Alexandra from Austria. Austria is not far, I'd like you to come and spend a little time here. You see? Because sometimes even here, when we had some silent sittings and stuff, people come, they get their cushions, they put their hoodie on and stuff, to close up. They sit down and I say, just be aware that the breath is moving by itself. It's a true sleep? No, of course it's not true sleep. What's really happening there? Maybe some kind of reflex from the person who stayed to avoid, don't want to hear something, whatever it is. So sometimes I'll point to this person and say, okay, come, sit here in front of me and sleep. Go on, let me see you do it. Or turn around in front of everybody and then they So, how do I deal with this aching in the body and falling asleep? Persevere, persist. Some lady I remember in India, she was always staying by the door. And I asked, why are you coming by? Come and sit in the front. I can't. Because every time I come and you start to speak and I start to understand, it's like my head is going to explode. Can you imagine? This form the mind can take. I feel my head is going to explode if I stay in here. I said, look at that. I've never seen an exploding head. I would really love. Can you imagine somebody doing meditation sitting? You say, whoa, whoa, whoa. You have to go and clean up and wash. I don't think it's going to happen. But such is the fear inside, like, and said, I have to go out. When I go out, then I feel, I feel really good again. How can this be a truth? To that extent, for a while, your mind will play for a while. And if it gets your attention and cooperation, it will persist and the game will go on. But if you know I'm here, whatever tricks it will play, you see. But especially, not even asking you to be brave. No, listen to the invitation. Listen. It is a mirror. It is the mirror of God itself. Listen to the invitation and keep confirming what you see. You see? So, Alexandra, yes, I would like to spend some time somebody come like that. Sometimes I would say that, I would love to handcuff you. We will get handcuffed together. So everywhere I go, you have to come. Everywhere you go, I have to come. Like that, But then I thought about it's not going to work. It's to be handcuffed to 500 people walking down the road. It's not going to work. But just, we don't understand what I mean. It is like somehow you don't get the chance of indulging your little nonsense. You just go, it's nothing. It's nothing. And yet something that can seem to be excruciatingly painful and so much blocking your way is all shaped by certain concepts, certain beliefs that you're holding on to which are not true. And they're being exposed here. And now you're coming to understand and experience that there's a force functioning within our own being that seems to be against your awakening. But I've looked at it. It's not really against you. You see? It has to play like that so that you are totally, totally on board with your own freedom. If I was handing out freedom today, okay, this is one for you, one freedom for you today. You know, many people will come and take my freedom thing, and then 2 days later you see it down the road in the dustbin. They don't want it. Because we don't value what comes so easy. You see? And the self is free, but it's not cheap. And by cheap, I'm not talking about money. I'm talking about attitude. If things are too easy, you have to fight for the things that really of value for you. And that's how you come to recognize its value and to be grateful for that and to be humble and like that. You see? It makes sense or not? Where are we now? What happened to my little notes? Did somebody take my notes away? Huh? My thing, what time satsang should finish. Om, did you do this? Did you take my little thing here? There are some reminders, you see, what time is it? Because I don't know what 10:53 means what. I have to do this because I get in trouble with the kitchen. Because they say you go on too long, and then they don't actually say that, but I know they think it, you know. So I have to show that, look, I'm very respectful and to the time. Shri, you can help me? What happened to the things?
11:30 is usually what we say.
What time did I come in here? 9:30. Okay. I'm not good at it. I don't remember, you see, like this. Anyhow, who is coming up? Is it you? You coming then?
Namaste, Guruji.
Hi, darling.
I love you.
I love you too.
Because of what is said before by the other people, I thought it might be helpful.
You speak more clear. More,
Sorry?
Yes, yeah.
Yes. 2 years ago, first retreat, happy, happy, happy. The year following onto that, happy, happy, happy. Then I thought, okay, but your circumstances are very easy. So when you're not challenged, it's easy to be happy. Last summer, next retreat here, I was very, very grateful. After returning to the place where I sleep and so, 3 days later, challenges started coming, and it didn't stop. So I can confirm that all your pointings help to this, to find, to recognize, where you can see that it's all a play. It's all a play. So my circumstances were quite difficult, but it didn't it didn't matter so much anymore. And it was tough, and I thought, oh, give me 1 day in Monte Sahaja. So I was blessed enough to be here in May for 1 week. And I went up to the Shiva temple every day to ask, okay, bring it on, set me on fire, it has to stop, the nonsense. And then I expected something to come also. It came. And the reason why I say this is fear thought it would be huge, but it turned out to be a very small thing actually. But the effect was very big because I saw the ego can hide like behind a grain of sand. The ego can hide anywhere. And it was such a blessing to be able to let that go. And during this last year, as you point out, going through these hard experiences made me more humble, because the person did a lot of bodybuilding and was very arrogant and ignorant. And so I'll visit Shiva temple once more because it has to go. It has to go.
Yeah.
And I never was much of a family person, so in my arrogance, I even thought that God made a mistake by making you be born with a family. But you are my father.
Everything that is in your life is playing and contributing to your awakening. You see, if you have the right mind, and somehow we are coming back again to your natural mind, where you will see these things, rather than be hiding on the cover. And you can be out and you can start to see, wait a second, As you say, the wise person builds a house out of the stones that his enemies throw at him. And a nice house too. You put nice things, everything there. So what it means by that, even they may regard this one as their enemy, but he has no enemy. Make use of each thing, even knowing also, because in my own case I can verify this. All the things that on the surface maybe one's mind would think, why do they do this and they do it? People are doing things sometimes with the intention to harm you or to do something, and they have turned out to be my advantage. They have turned out to my advantage, because I saw that it was necessary to learn through that way, to discover something that was, pain, but it helped me to correct my behavior also in things that were not good. So everything begins to work for you, if you have the right attitude, you see? And you see, in the beginning, if you're in the mode of personhood, then you see other persons doing things to you or against you or for you or whatever way like this. But at a certain point, all of this gets somehow transformed into movements of consciousness. You see, and you see it is consciousness is doing it. When you see consciousness doing it, it takes out the acidity of naming it in the form of person. Do you follow like this? It just automatically comes. You see that everything is consciousness. Consciousness is doing everything to expand itself somehow, or to somehow become again merged in the source. Your whole viewpoint is changing, you see. If you look at it in personal terms, then you yourself will stay as person, and you will see other persons getting in your way. But if you see it increasingly, it's coming, even naturally, it's coming, that you begin to see it as just consciousness. When things like consciousness, it loses that ferocity, that poison. It becomes kind of, like acid grace. A bit spicy, but somehow it is changing things back into the correct place they need to be. So you do feel grateful and you say, wow, look at that, it really works. You see? It's wonderful, wonderful. Very good. Thank you. I saw a letter here. Let's have a little glimpse of it. My most beloved Master, all my infinite love and respect to you, Divine Father. I am here, the one who didn't make it, the lost sheep from Argentina. I didn't call lost sheep, and then in brackets, the authentic frightened ghost. I have just seen the beginning of the retreat by broadcast, and I'm paralyzed in deep sorrow. Please rescue me, my Father, since I don't know what to do. I'm in your hands. I'm yours. I know I couldn't face all these darkness. I couldn't go through these fears and discomfort feelings. I surrendered. I totally failed. You showed me the way and I didn't jump. And now I know I can't make it by myself. So I totally depend on you. Beloved Father, please don't leave me lost. No, of course can't leave you lost. But sometimes it's good also to totally fail, you know? Isn't it? Sometimes you run totally out of moves. You have no move left for you. You're cornered by life. You see? We have to taste sometimes to be totally helpless also. Because that will strike your arrogance very beautifully. You see? Because sometimes there's something there, and this is going to work for you, you see? But you say in this sense of desperateness, you say, I can't do it. I couldn't get on the plane. I just, some fear came or something, you know? So I don't push away. I say, you see, we're all being prepared by grace so beautifully. You see, nobody's life is so good that, you know, they are exempt from the things that are needed to stir up the fire for freedom in you. Even a king may have all the material things in life, you see, but something inside is going to feel, you know, it's not enough. Something, you see. It's not that it's material. You say, oh, I'm too comfortable. Someone wrote me also, you know. You see, the thing is, please help me because my life is too comfortable. It's too sweet. Everything is so nice. So the aspiration for freedom is not coming. Please send me some trouble. You see? So I was preparing for this retreat. I knew it implied effort to travel, but it didn't seem impossible. And I was very enthusiastic about it. I really wanted to be immersed in the acid waters of grace. Look at that. And I really wanted to be immersed in the acid waters of grace, to be cleaned, and to enjoy and honor this great opportunity, and was resolved to stand up and don't waste more time and don't miss my chance and expose these weaknesses. All these weaknesses I have, these fears and the attachment to the family and to the mother identity and the wife identity that I can't drop. I feel as this rope around me that I keep before jumping. It seems there is a great fear of losing them, the attachments I'm sure you're talking, or even lose my place. I feel like this rich man that Jesus called to follow him and he couldn't go, very sad. You see? And the story that she's referring to, if I remember right, says a rich young man came to Christ, to Jesus, and said to him, you know, he said, good teacher, what must I do to inherit eternal life? And Jesus says, why do you call me good? There's none good but God. He was talking at this conversation. He says, follow the scriptures. What does it say in the scriptures? Honor your mother and your father, do good to everybody, and this type of thing. So the young man said to him, sir, all these things, I have observed them since I was a child. You know? Then the master said to him, one thing you lack. You see, you're touched to poverty, you see. go sell all your things, get rid of your riches, you see, and then come and follow me. And then the young man, he had caught the thing that he was attached to. It's not that Jesus say riches is bad thing, but for him was big attachment. So he says, give your wealth to the poor and come and follow me. But the man couldn't do it. You see? And it was there that he said, and so then the disciples, on hearing this, said, but who then can be? Who then can? No, because the master said when he turned away, when the young man turned away, because he couldn't accept that answer because that was his attachment. You see, then the master say, it is easier for a camel to pass through the eye of a needle than a rich man to enter the kingdom of heaven. What it mean? It doesn't mean what people have misunderstood. It meant for someone who's attached to something. It means that you combine your very soul with something which is perishable. How are you going to discover the kingdom? So it is attachment, not money, not objects, not family, but the attachments. And the attachments was binding. And so she's saying here, so that I feel as this rope that I have tied around my farm, this is stopping me. Remember I told something like that when someone say, why did I lose the isness? I said, how you can lose isness? You'll be lost before isness is lost. How can you lose isness, you see? And so then I contemplated it, and I came back and I spoke about this. I said, it must have been that you have tied a rope around your waist and then tied to a tree and then said, now I'm going to go into the unknown. You see? So that this thing, when you go into the unknown, if you don't like it, then you can use your rope and find your way back to the apparent known. You see? And this is something, what is your rope? You see? That you're tying to something to say, yes, you have to include this into my freedom. I said, no, that is your bondage. Why I should include your bondage in your freedom? You see? So she's saying, I feel as this rope around that I keep before jumping. It seems there's a great fear of losing them, implying maybe my attachments or something, or even lose my place. You see, sometimes I may lose my role, and I have to be, I want to be this role, the mother role, the whatever, the wife role or something, maybe these things. I feel like this rich man that Jesus called to follow him and he couldn't go. Very sad. Sometimes I can observe this from a place of peace after the invitation and everything is okay, and I feel I could even die and it's okay. Sometimes I can open the door inside and feel the light. The other side of the door is full of terrifying voices playing the game very well. I don't have a way out. I know God heard my prayer. I can see His love everywhere in many ways. I can feel your love, Father, every day, your presence everywhere. But now I don't know what to do. I had a test and I failed. Not a big deal. Watch online. Because, like this. So, Krishna, you said, no? Yeah, we should let her to watch online. And maybe it could be just the way things work out and accept it's okay. Don't keep saying, oh, I failed, I didn't go on the plane. Maybe it was a good reason you didn't go on the plane. We don't know. But, I had a test and I failed. How to continue, how to wake up tomorrow not being in Sahaja at your feet where I was meant to be, where I wanted to be. You have to be there at my feet in Argentina then. Be with us in Argentina. That's more true than physically being here. Physically being here is also very good. Because some people, they have been familiar only through YouTubes and so on, and they feel, oh yes, I've got to come. But when they come to the three-dimensional meeting, you see, then they start to hide. Oh my God. They're hiding like this. Why? Because something also, the floodlights to exposure come more strong for a moment. But then you didn't make this, and I don't want to say, look, you failed, why you didn't come? No. So you stay, you're going to have great satsang. Have a great satsang right where you are in Argentina. I'm just as much with you. And we are going to have great satsang. Wake up satsang. You see? This is the feeling, you see? So this is for Marina, you see? How to wake up tomorrow not being a satsang. Okay, I want to. Where I was meant to be, I want to be, and I'm not because of these fears and attachments. I'm in your hands, I depend on you, I'm frightened. Don't worry about it. The most important I want to say to you is that I might have lost my chance, I might have failed, I may be whatever and don't know what will happen. But from where I am now, please know that I love you with all of my heart forever. Thank you, Father, at your feet, Marina. And in the bottom, for sure, this is a good punch to pride and arrogance. So at least this is good. I am knocked. You see? But don't go on about that now. You see? And just now, this is what is meant to happen. You're meant to be home for now. Watch from home, full participation, because there are some people who are going to wake up from home, maybe in front of when some people are sitting here. Who can say? You see? In fact, this is how this whole thing with YouTube started, because I was not fond of this. I'm not such a, technology, oriented, So in the early days, I remember in Tuduvanamalai, and somebody came and said, have you heard of YouTube? And I said, YouTube? What kind of YouTube? And then they said, no, this is a new thing that's coming out, that's just come out, and you can put your videos on there and many people can see them. And I thought, oh, another, I have this kind of nonsense in me. Like, I said, no, another kind of technology, when will they ever end? Because I remember one time I was making tapes, and then some Nataraj came and said, have you heard of something called CD? That's the next thing coming out. I said, you see, now CD is out now. Nobody wants CD. When is it ending? We don't know. It's like this. So, oh dear. And, yeah. So this person told me about YouTube, and then we made one, the first YouTubes we made when I was in the United States. Big, and we didn't know what it's all about, because I don't watch much television or nothing like that and things. So then I had a letter came, and it was written by somebody who was in hospital, and this man wrote, and he said, I am told I'm terminally ill. I'm very sick, I cannot leave my room in the hospital. And I'm writing to you to say thank you because you came into my room and showed me freedom. And I cried, I was so deeply touched by this letter. And from there I said, you know what, maybe it's a good thing, And that's how we started to make YouTubes. Because I said, look, someone has found it this way. Maybe I would never be able to go to his town or to this country, but through the medium of internet and so on, this one has found something. Then I saw the power. I said, it can really work through the internet. Good. Marina, it is very, very good. Nothing is lost of value. Lose the thing which is of no value now. That is, you can easily lose. And so wonderful. These are small failures, no big deal. We take one more before I go on this one. I think your hand was up for a while. You come then, let me see.
Hi.
Hi.
I am here for complete freedom, and I feel like I have such strong tendencies toward being distracted, and I want this to be burned off. I want it burned off.
Yeah.
Now.
Okay, now is always good for me too. So you say, I am here totally for freedom. Okay. But I have strong tendencies towards being easily distracted.
Yes.
By what, generally?
Let's see. Human tendencies could be romantic. There's also my daughter, another distraction, who doesn't want anything to do with me.
But they don't exist in themselves as distractions. It's just you get distracted.
Yes.
You know, there's no such thing as a distraction. It's you who get distracted. Your daughter, not by virtue of her existence, is not a distraction. Something gets distracted, and you very beautifully expressed also that inclination towards maybe some kind of romantic play or something that catches the attention, as it does for many, many people. It's nothing so new. But if you found that in your case, especially when it comes a time to search for something as profound as your own true nature, then these things will play because they've worked before at diverting your attention to things which are not significant for who you are, you know? So you say that you want to be free of them, free from this, you know, from being so easily distracted. So, are you conscious during the time you're being distracted or after?
I think on and off.
Huh?
I think sometimes I am and sometimes I'm not.
Yes.
And when I am distracted, sometimes it's very enjoyable. The
Yeah.
fantasy in my head is like, whoa, I'm like...
You enjoy it.
I do.
Because remember we were joking about it because I listened to one of this music, I think it was Taylor Swift, no? You understand? And a little bit, so one song she was making, and it was a video. And in the video, she saw, you know, this gorgeous looking guy shows up, and in the song she sang, "You look like you are going to be my next mistake." They're clever lines. Huh? You look like you're about to become my next mistake. So which means that you know already this thing is coming, no? So, you know, you're already into the game of it. You're joining into the game of it. You're not avoiding. You say, oh, wow, you know, like, you look like you're gonna feature big in my movie. You understand? So, and we want to enjoy. I mean, part of life is also our creative projections and so on. We want to enjoy, but after a certain point, after so much disappointments and so on, because they are built also for that. Enjoy a little bit, then not enjoyment anymore. Then habit too strong, and as soon as you meet someone, you start to download all your projections on them and stuff like this, and then, which you can get away with for a little bit, until the true them comes into the focus, and then we take off, don't we, or whatever. So if you see that, that's a tendency. It's okay, it's okay, it's okay. That does not stop you from discovering yourself. You see, if you become aware of it. That's why I say to you, are you aware of when you are in that mode, and somehow when you are feeding the fantasy, of course, can you feed two contrasting fantasies? If you say that, I really feel this pull, but I really want to be free. Because if that should happen, then things are getting hot. No? If I really feel like I have an attraction to go and play with this projection, yet at the same time I have this strong sense. I know where it's going. Do you know where your...
I don't.
You don't know where your projections are going?
I don't know where that projection would go, that
which makes
fantasy,
it even more juicy sometimes.
Yes.
Yeah.
I know where I want it to go, but...
Yes, yeah. Does it ever go the way you want it to go?
Not so far.
No.
No, not so far. But
it doesn't work like that.
Well, but I'm thinking maybe this time it would be different because I am now more awakened. See how that works?
Higher grade of... I said before, God is not so unkind as to make your wishes come true. You understand what I mean by that? Yes, the God is not so unkind as to grant you all your wishes, because they would just make trouble for you.
Well, so far he's granted none when it comes to romantic relationships. Zero.
Sometimes the very fact that you want them, none at all. You have had relationships, no?
Yes, but they've all caused me a great deal of pain.
Yeah.
And what I want is a union and a loving relationship, which I have not.
Yeah, you see, I've heard this before. And particularly from women, they have this designer kit on how to, going to have this beautiful. They got the movie ready, like this. And it's like a setup for disaster, actually, sometimes, because if it worked, you would not be free. You would not find freedom, not perhaps in this life, while you're engaged. If our projections, our fantasies, which is arising out of our own personhood, dreams and so on, if they worked, the aspiration for freedom would be so weak, you would not even consider it. It would just stay it would be a book in the kitchen shelf or something. You would not go for it.
Why can't I have both?
You know what? Perhaps when you're not wanting it, you might have it. Because if you're no, please don't give up. Because there is something there. You don't see the negative part of it, no? Because it's like you've put something very, very high, which is so ephemeral and transient in its play. And oftentimes when we are creating this kind of thing, it's never going to work according to your projections anyway. The most beautiful life has to unfold. It has to be unpredictable. It has to be surprising. It cannot be sort of like following your script. You understand? Because in that case, what do you need someone for? Just write one in. A human being, a living being, is not going to come into your life just to fulfill your projections. What a horrible thing that would be. You have to challenge each other a bit and so on, and grow in a more dynamic and unpredictable way. And what this kind of fantasy, it shows we can play that, but and you can spend your whole life fantasizing about things. It's good that they don't work. Painful to the person, but it keeps the aliveness possible for you to wake up into the beauty and fullness of your true nature, you know. And it doesn't mean that, you know, within your own path, someone may not come, that really you discover the love in a way different from how your mind is projecting it. You see, because you may only be able to enjoy and suffer it through your imagination, but in the way that we, you know, I mean, we can go very far into these things, you know. But it's not fair to a living being who is here for freedom also, to try and fit into your projections, and you think you know what is good, and then you start to, you would murder them, their freedom, be in your own kind of, you know, no, but you know, but you know, relationships are not like that. Relationships should be like this, and so, oh my God, and they have no freedom, and so on. It's, you know, it's not good way. And I would say that it is really distracting from a real opportunity to wake up to the fullness and the magnificence of your own being. Beyond need. It's not good to live a life in need. And also, people, they're not attracted to somebody too needy. You just get taken advantage of. You should not be needy. You should be able to be good on your own. And then when you're in a relationship, you know, and if things come that, you know, threatens your sense of freedom and so on, you should be able to be strong enough to walk away from them if you need to.
I don't necessarily think it's a needy thing. I think it's a human desire, a strong human desire. As a human being, I have that desire.
Yeah. In your case, too much. You know, it's a natural urge, like, you know, yes, you can say like this, but it feels as though something is missing from your life, which in truth is not missing, you know. The one thing really probably missing from your life is you. You have to find that again, which is the core of your being. I'm sure that's what brought you here. Suppose you came here you came here and I had two choices for you, and I said, listen, you know, you can, you know, have. This is a guy who wants to meet you, and it's just, like, you know, I mean, it's everything that I tell you, you know. And also in the next room, you know, God is waiting for you and saying, darling, you know, because it has happened before, this thing. One girl was coming to the house, and she was like this also. Like she just had this strong, she came through some breakthrough inside. And miracles were happening around her. People started to come and see her and things like this. But she had this strong desire, you know, have this fear that she doesn't want to grow old alone and all this kind of the images that come. And she, you know, she was, this need for relationship was very, very strong. Looking for her prince, you know, and, you know, kissing a lot of frogs on the way. So in the end, what happened, she would even call me one time, 2:30 in the morning, and so what's happening? And I said, yes, you know, this thing, and you know, he's not here, and he hasn't come back, and all. I said, what? You're calling me, and you know, right across London, tell me this person's not come back, and you know. So I said to her, you know, I feel that if this boyfriend who is causing so much trouble with you, if he were to say to you, darling, you know, I am yours. I am totally yours as from tomorrow. Okay, not today. As from tomorrow, okay? And at the same time, God came and says, my love, come and walk with me. Where would you go?
Go with God.
You know what she said?
Instant.
Okay, you know what she said? She says, let me think about it. So you say instant, huh?
An instant, yeah.
So God is calling you now.
I am here.
Yeah. what will you put in front of God?
Nothing. Nothing. I will do nothing.
Yeah. So this thing, you don't mention it anymore.
Okay.
For now. And see what's going to happen. While you're here with me, don't mention it again. Like this thing, okay, but I have this thing here. You already said some distractions will play sometime, but don't put any more to that for a moment. You say you've come here for this. So, I'm asking your highest wish, your deepest longing. Present that. Don't put two of them, just put one. And if you say that is for the truth, if you say that you choose God, means that you choose yourself actually. Your highest truth, the essence of your being, that which is in itself complete. You say, I've chosen that in whatever shape or form it may take, or formlessness. And then you say, okay, this is very good. You qualify for that. And then I very much hope we see what happens as in these few days. I feel it will be very good. I feel you just cleared something for me. And then that's good, you see. And so, because always something will try and put another thing, to rival your, and it is good, because you have to apply your powers of discernment, you see, so that you're not enslaved by any projection at all. That in the moment, and I loved how you answered that, because I said, if, you said, I'm here right for this. It's good, because it was sounding, would you take it or leave it, you see? But it was very clear in your answer, and I'm so happy to hear even just that. And I feel, okay, very good. Look what is going to happen now. You see?
Thank you.
Thank you. Very great.
Can I
Come, yes.
I do yoga too. Thank you.
Thank you, Alla.
Thank you.
Wonderful. I'm very happy to see you. Very happy. Wonderful. Thank you. Okay. Maybe enough for the moment now. We have talked about a few things, and I feel that we can just give some space to that. You're in the energy field of this place. Everything is in service to this freedom. And just continue to marinate in that space. Don't work too hard at anything. More important just to remain open than working hard. You see? And if you in your heart can just feel, whatever is happening, just keep saying thank you. Thank you to existence that I'm here and that I'm called for the most important discovery in my life. You see? Then let's see what happens. So thank you.